Good morning, Dr. Boelk. How you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great, Albert. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. So listen, first of all, I want to say thank you for joining my segment. It's all about the agents. For my audience, I've had the pleasure to know Dr. Boelk through our gym, and he is a chiropractor and practicing here locally in San Diego. And one of the things that I thought was really valuable, Dr. Boelk, is to kind of share a little bit of information about some potential stretches that my clients can do. I would say probably about 90% of my clients during these COVID times are now working at home, and
Sure.
a lot of times, right, their setups, whether they have a ergonomic setup or not, they may be experiencing some potential neck pains or posture, and we really want to talk about some of the exercises that you would recommend that they do to kind of lessen the stress, and also maybe schedule right some of these sessions throughout the day. So again, please introduce yourself and share some information about your practice, and then we can talk about some of the stretches that you would recommend.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, hey guys, my name is Dr. Cassidy Boelk. My practice right across the street from the gym where Albert and I work out at NXPT. I've been practicing for the last 16 years. I broke my back when I was younger, and I've had disc bulges in both my lower back and neck from playing sports. So that's kind of how I got into doing this. So one of the major things that I see with a lot of the patients that come in, we all sit a lot, right? The average American sits over 10 hours a day, which is a significant amount of time. So I would say that the first kind of rule of thumb I always tell my patients, if possible, for every hour that you're spending in a seated position, if you can be up for 20 minutes, that's fantastic. And I always tell my patients, if they can, even if they just set a timer on their phone, that it kind of gives them a little reminder. And even if you get up for a minute, 30 seconds, just the pure fact that you're standing up and unloading that spine makes a big difference. When we go from a standing position to seated, that spine is scientifically proven it loads up 35% more pressure on the spine. So that would be the first thing, is just setting that reminder. And then today I'm going to go over 3 real easy stretches that everyone can do, literally sitting in their chair. They can just push their chair out from their desk if they're seated. Mm-hmm. And then after that, we'll do 3 simple, easy exercises for the low back for some stability, and then we'll go from there. Pretty straightforward.
That sounds great. That's right. And
Cool.
and you would also say that, like you had mentioned, the average American is sitting, over 10 hours. So setting those timers and maybe walking away from their desk to do these stretches would probably be one of the things that you would recommend.
Yeah, if possible, if they can do that, it's great. Stand up, go grab a drink of water, use the bathroom, and then, they want to have a seat where they can sit. So whether that's a different area in their house, a bench, a desk, what have you. And then also, I get it. I can be at the office doing computer work for hours at a time, but
right,
those little mental 1-minute breaks sometimes just helps you reset you a little bit neurologically as well. So it's a good thing to do.
Awesome. Okay. All right, Dr. Boelk, go ahead and show us some of those exercises so the audience can take a look at.
It's called a flexion and extension. So it's funny, a lot of my patients, they come in for lower back pain, and I specialize in a lot of disc herniation, sciatica. So one of the major things that happens with sciatica and disc compression is that flexion. So when we go into I'm going to stand up, hopefully you can see, not too bad here.
Yeah.
But there's 3 positions of a spine. This would be a neutral when we're standing just in a normal position. When we bend forward, that's called flexion, and when we go back, it's called extension. Now, the problem with a lot of exercises or things that we do, if we put our body into flexion a lot, that actually is going to compress that spine even more. So whenever we do that, we want to be careful on how we're doing it. So throughout the day, and this will be a whole nother talk we'll do maybe at a different point, but suffice it to say, when we sit or stand, try to keep that chest upright rather than sitting and sticking our butt out, right? Mm-hmm. However, we want to have some flexion in our life, because you're not going to walk around like a robot, right? So This first exercise is actually going into what we call a controlled flexion, or basically a front bend. So what you're going to do with this one is you're going to start with your feet just about shoulder width apart, real straightforward. You want to have the bench or the seat, whatever you're sitting on, fairly level, if that makes sense. So you're not up too
Okay.
high or too low. Yeah.
That
So
makes
in this
sense.
one, we're going to go basically bring our head back. We're going to stick out our stomach and kind of accentuate that curve in the lower back. We're going to bring our head back and just take a nice big breath in. And then we're just going to breathe out, drop our hands down to our feet, just do what we naturally can do. You don't want to force more stretch forward. That's not beneficial.
Correct.
So it's a real simple in, big breath in, and just breathing out and just dropping those hands beside the feet. You're just going to do 5 of these. Simple,
Okay.
easy. Okay. The good thing about all of these exercises, they're all practical. They're real simple, fast, easy. It's not going to take you, 20 minutes, 30 minutes to do this stuff.
Correct. Yeah.
You're going to do 5 of those real straightforward. Okay. From the front, same thing. Just bring breath in, kind of sticking that stomach out a little bit, and then just dropping down nice and easy. Yeah.
Perfect.
Pretty straightforward. The second one we're going to do is going to be a side motion, because we want to get all 3 motions in that spine. We want to get the forward to back bending, the side to side.
And the sides.
Right? Make sense?
Yeah.
So the next one we're going to basically do is we're going to be in this position. The hands are just going to drop down. As best as we can, we want to start in a good position, a good posture. So from a side view, right? I'm not kind of like just sagging.
Slouched. Yeah.
You want to kind of have that upright position. You want to make sure you're scooted far forward with whatever seat you're in. You're not too far behind, too far seated backwards. And then what you're going to do is you're just going down side to side. So I'm going to drop down to the right, and then I'm going to come up to neutral, and then just drop down to the left. Sometimes you're going to hear some popping and crinkling and crackling in the spine, the neck. That's going to happen. It's not causing significant pain. Obviously, if anything that we're doing is causing you a lot of pain, stop that. And if you have questions, you give my office a call or do whatever. I'm happy to walk you through that. Okay. So
thanks.
In this position, you're going to go down to the right, come back up, down to the left. Just do what you can. You're not going to push that stretch. If one of your feet comes off the ground, right, you're going too far.
Okay.
So from a front position, same thing. You're here, or just scooted far forward. We want to do it. The thing that we want to make sure with this is we don't do a side bend with a rotation.
Okay, just straight down.
Yeah, just straight down, because the side bend with the rotation kind of puts that disc in an awkward position when we're loaded, when we're in a seated position, not the best thing.
Correct. Got
it. So bending side here and here. And again, same thing, 5 repetitions. So down to the right, down to the left, that's 1. And I'm going to do that 5 times.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Now we want to get that rotation in that spine. Okay. So rotation is going to start here. I'm going to interlock my fingers. My thumb is going to basically put right up here, but it's kind of on my clavicle. And what I'm going to do with this one, I'm going to look first, and then I'm going to rotate. I'm going to come back, look, and rotate. This is the most common one where patients are going to go, man, I can rotate, for example, to the left, really good, but to the right, it's kind of stuck.
You get stuck.
What will happen is after probably doing this a week to 2 weeks, you'll start to get more balance and more rotation. You're going to hear a lot on this one, especially in the lower back. There's probably going to be some pops and cracks, and that's okay.
Okay.
What we don't want to do is you kind of see sometimes at the gym, not at our gym, of course, but at other gyms.
Yeah, they're just cranking. Yeah, exactly.
That's really, really risky and not a good thing to do. Okay. So again, I'm rotating, looking, rotating from the side position. Same thing, when we start in that posture, good upright position posture. We're going to rotate here, come through, and rotate. Same thing. 5 repetitions each side, pretty straightforward. This probably take you literally 2 minutes to do. Right.
And now, would you recommend doing this, a couple times a day or once a day, or what's your recommendation?
Most of my patients, I recommend them doing it 2 to 3 times a day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So kind of sporadically put it throughout the day when you're working, and just kind of throw these exercises in there.
Kind of mid-morning, mid-afternoon, that kind of thing. The only time I recommend that you don't either stretch or work out is the first hour within waking. So let's say up at 5 a.m., you know, if you're going to do a 6 a.m. workout, that's fine. But you probably don't want to do a 5:30 a.m. workout if you wake up at 5.
If we wake up at 5, okay.
And the reason for that is the discs and all the tissues are really stiff and tight.
Yeah.
And so they've scientifically researched this and proven this. The most common time for injury with a disc specifically is when people work out within that first hour of waking.
Okay. Okay. And one of the things I've always appreciated, obviously, when we're at our gym at NXPT, you're always, you know, you've always helped me as well in terms of positioning, and, you know, because we can all be very injury prone if we're not taking the appropriate stretches and exercises. And I know that you're always, you know, kind of focusing on those stretches. And I always, you know, you tend to do a lot of extra stretching too throughout. And I think that's really important because we really don't take the time to do enough stretching, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the funny things I always tell people when I meet them. You know, they say, "Oh, when you do chiropractor?" "Oh, okay, yeah." And it's always this funny thing. I think, like, if we saw our spines, right, every day, we would take much better care of them, right? Like, we see our face, you know, if we wash it, we shave if we're a man, we brush our floss them, right? But our spines, like, we don't see them, but we feel them. So we really typically, and I'm guilty of this too. I'm not perfect at all. I've gotten much better through the years, but we typically don't do anything proactively with our spines. It's kind of reactive, right? So if I don't have pain, you know, I'm fine. If I have pain, then obviously I'm going to do something, right? Could you imagine if we did that with our teeth, right? We never brushed them.
Yeah, never. Right, exactly.
We only went to the dentist if we were in pain. Well, we probably wouldn't look that great, right? So, especially for people training and they're sitting, I mean, every single, whether you're an athlete or just, you know, working in the office, what have you, what happens is patients start doing these exercises, or people that aren't patients, they start doing these exercises and stretches, they start feeling better. They're a lot more in tune with their body, and they're going to have a lot longer longevity with whatever activity that they want to do, you know, moving into the future. So.
Right. Oh, Dr. Boelk, thank you so much. Listen, this has been phenomenal to share this information with my agents, because I know a lot of them right now are, you know, just trying to get used to this new norm. And now it's been a couple months in terms of them working from home. So this really gives them an opportunity to do some exercises throughout and help them kind of relax and make sure that they're taking the time out away from their desk to get that stretching, because I know sometimes I can be in front of the computer for hours at a time. So I've had to actually put it on my phone and time it, you know, to go and do virtual workouts that we all do and all of that. So just obligating that time to get away from the desk. So this has been phenomenal. I'm going to definitely share your information, your contact information. So obviously for any of my local clients here in San Diego, who want to reach out to Dr. Boelk, definitely do so. You know, I'll post his information so that way you can connect with him directly. And I'd love to have you back on the segment, Dr. Boelk, and go through some more exercises as well that we can share with my clients, and, you know, for other people that are doing, you know, in-home, working from home. So I really do appreciate your time.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much, Albert. We'll do it again for sure.
Awesome. All right, Dr. Boelk, I'll talk to you soon, and thank you again. And we will definitely get together and share some of future information with It's All About the Agents.
Sounds good. I'll see you soon.